I think that we can all agree, griefers are the most annoying player base of any community. It's not just Grand Theft Auto Online. How many times are you playing Minecraft in a public server and then some douche just rolls around, blows up your house? I remember back in the day I used to play Lemoncraft and, you'd build all of your special houses and fortresses and then you'd log off and the next day you log in, somebody completely raids the place, destroys all of your stuff and steals everything. Griefers have always been very annoying to deal with, and it's the same way in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you destroy somebody's product when they are doing a public sale mission, you get $2,000. Bro, you get $2,000 for the good behavior bonus. There's literally not a single reason that you would grief somebody apart from the fact that you aren't a good person. That's as simple as it is. But selling in public lobbies is a great way to get a lot of money. And it's not even if you're selling in public lobbies, but in general, if you're ever in a public lobby, there are many reasons to be in one. Whether you're trying to get that 50% cash bonus, or for something like vehicle cargo, when you're doing a sale mission when it comes to vehicle cargo, and it's in a private lobby, there's always going to be NPCs that spawn on you, that shoot your car, that damage it, but if you're doing it in a public lobby, you don't deal with NPCs. There are many reasons why players will do things in public lobbies. And even if you're just trying to chill, there's still a possibility that somebody's going to go out of their way and trying to ruin your fun. So in today's video, I'm going to be going over 10 ways to deal with griefers and anybody else that's going to try and bother you. Now the first one is obviously very simple, and that is just play in an invite-only lobby. Back in the day, the only way you were able to do sale missions was in a public lobby. You could only do vehicle cargo, you could only do special cargo, and all the other sale missions available in the game in public lobbies. You couldn't even source cargo unless it was in a public lobby. And that sucked. However, since then, Rockstar has made it so that you can sell in invite-only lobbies, which basically means if you don't want to deal with any of the smoke, any of the trouble, you don't have to. You can easily go into an invite-only lobby, and you can do your sale missions. Now, you might be wondering, why? What advantage do I get selling in a public lobby? Well, we can see here that I made $6.1 million from this bunker sale mission. If we go all the way to the beginning of my video, we can see it was supposed to be a $4.2 million payout. Because I decided to sell in a public lobby, I was able to make an additional $2 million because you get a 50% bonus when selling in public lobbies. That is an insane amount of extra money. And personally, I think it's worth the risk to get that extra amount of cash. I know there's people that always say in the comments, it's not worth it, but I can tell you that it's gonna be worth it. If you can complete more than 70% effectively on your sale missions, even if 30% of them get destroyed, you're still gonna be making more money and in less time than you would have if you were doing them in invite-only lobbies. So that brings us to the second point of today's video, and that is called choosing the right businesses to do sale missions with. We can see when I started this sale mission, I got really, really unlucky. And that is because I got 3 Merryweather insurgents. When doing the bunker sale mission, getting 3 of these insurgents sucks. And you guys even pointed out in the comments right here, just buy 1 supply and then sell with 1 vehicle. And that's actually, no joke, what I say. For any people that watch my channel normally, you know that every time I talk about sale missions, I say, only do single vehicle sale missions. When it comes to the bunker, do 1 resupply and then sell it immediately once it's done because it's going to be a 1 vehicle sale mission. It's why I hate the motorcycle club businesses so much, because even if you purchase 1 resupply, you're still guaranteed 2 vehicles and it's still going to suck. It's why I hate the motorcycle club businesses. But if you're smart, if you use certain businesses, you're always guaranteed a single vehicle, even if you fill them to the brim. What vehicles and businesses are these? Well, we have the nightclub. Nightclub is always one of the 3 weaponized vehicles that you customize. They are always easy to do the sale missions with. However, I do recommend with the nightclub to sell probably less than half stock. And the reason why is because the larger the vehicle, the more useless they are. I think the Vapid Speedo Custom is definitely the best out of the 3 vehicles to do sale missions with when it comes to the nightclub. The second business is the Acid Lab. The Acid Lab is always guaranteed a quick motorcycle sale mission, which is very easy, and once you get used to the missions too, makes life way faster. The third is going to be the hangar. The hangar is, again, a single vehicle sale mission because of the new land-based sale missions. It's very, very easy to do and very easy to deal with. Now you might be saying, why? What's the problem with doing a multiple vehicle sale mission? Well, you can see the problem right here. I'm in my Insurgent and I am driving to the weapon drop-off. Unfortunately, there is a player who just turned to my vehicles, as we can see on the map. And because those vehicles are pinged on the map for any player to see, basically they're sitting ducks. If it was just one vehicle, and this was a single vehicle sale mission, I could continue driving on my way, go to the next drop-off, kill the player, and continue playing. But unfortunately, because this player's here, you can see that he already destroyed one of my vehicles, destroyed my other vehicle, and now it's just this vehicle. Now at this point, you might think, well, I just lost 66% of the profit from my sale mission. But this is actually not the case. This brings us to point number 3, and that is, go into a new lobby when somebody blows up your product. If you are in a sale mission where it has more than one vehicle, or you are in a situation where you think, oh gee, I just died, my vehicle is now a sitting duck, and there's somebody that's going to blow it up. The easiest way to deal with that is simply load into a new lobby. Doing this is going to load all of your product back into your bunker and save it all. So you're going to see that here. I killed this person just because I thought it would be funny, and I'm instantly going to press Find New Session and go into a new lobby. And when I go into this new lobby, you are going to see, after a little bit of loading, look at this. $4,074,000 of product left. This was immediately after I loaded into a new lobby. So we went from having $4,200,000 to $4,070,000. And this is on times 4 money. So realistically, if it's not, you're only losing like 20 to 30 grand when you load into a new lobby. That's it. No downsides, no anything. And then I can start my sale mission again. It is so easy to do this, and you can start to understand why I like to sell in public lobbies, because at least for me, there's very little risk. You can do this for any business, by the way. Special cargo, for your bunker, for the hangar, any business that you think, okay, I'm about to have my vehicle blown up, even if it's a single vehicle, just go into a new lobby, and all of the product, apart from like the last 2%, will be returned, and you can start the sale mission once again. And I actually got pretty lucky. When I started the sale mission for the second time, I got the trucks, meaning that I was able to deal my entire bunker in about 10 minutes. That's it. $6 million added to my bank account for 10 minutes of work. It shows you why selling in public lobbies can actually be really beneficial. So now that I've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about also the ways that you can combat players when doing sale missions, right? The first one, very, very easy. You can see here that on my CEO abilities tab, I have the ability to choose bribe authorities, ghost organization, drop armor, drop ammo. The only one that's really important here is ghost organization. And the reason why is because this gives you the ability to go off the radar. Now there's some people that think, oh, well, I can call Lester and go off the radar for a minute as well. Not really. The reason why is because when you call Lester, it only hides your player ping, not the vehicle ping. So in other words, players will still see the cargo moving down the road, they just won't see you driving with the cargo. So that's not a good idea. Going into Ghost Organization will not only hide you, but it will also hide all of your product on the map, which means that you have 3 minutes of solidarity before you have to worry about somebody coming after you. So for this mission, I immediately activated Ghost Org because I only have to drive 2.4 miles, as we can see. And because of that, it means that for the entire drive, not a single player will see me. You're going to notice that. Like, I can make my way all the way to the end. Ghost Org still had about 40 seconds left by the time this was being delivered. So in that time, it means there was 0% possibility that anybody was going to grief me. And it shows that if you activate Ghost Org, which only costs $15,000, it's free for me because I have GTA Plus, but it's only $15,000. You're going to be making so much in return, and it basically eliminates any chance of a griefer even being able to find you, which is obviously really, really nice and makes life a lot easier. This next tip is such a basic one, yet for some reason, people just don't take advantage of it, and that is find friends to do sale missions with. I have a Discord server. It's linked in every single video I post. You can join, meet new friends, and most importantly, I added just today, at the time of recording, a new channel called Help with Sale Missions, where if you need help with a sale mission, you can say, hey, I need help. I play on XYZ platform. is anybody willing to help me? And hey, maybe I'll help you if you play on my platform. I'm on PC and PlayStation. The point being, if you join a Discord server, it doesn't even have to be mine. TGG is a Discord server with 100,000 people or some ridiculous amount, right? Point being, you can very easily find friends and people that will help you, that will do sale missions with you. Having one other person while you're doing your nightclub sale mission that is in an Oppressor Mark II, or you're in the Oppressor and they're driving the vehicle, it's so nice to have something else to cover you. And just one extra person can make the difference between a completed sale mission and one that is not completed. So that is one of the easiest ways to actually complete public lobby sale missions. Just find somebody to help you. And I know that it sounds challenging, but in reality, I don't think it is. The next two tips go hand in hand, and that is armored and weaponized vehicles. We can see over here is the Gradiatali GTO Stinger TT, and it has armor padding, as we can very clearly see on the sides. Now, this vehicle is not only very fast, especially if you're playing on next generation console or PC starting March 4th, with an HSW upgrade, it can go a whopping 160 miles per hour. Not only that, but it obviously has survivability. It can survive 10 homing missiles, 4 sticky bombs. It's very, very maneuverable, and I don't think I've ever been killed in an Amani Tech vehicle yet. Somebody called cap in one of my previous videos when I said that, but no, I don't think I've ever died in an Amani Tech vehicle. I mean, I've probably died from an NPC, but I've never died from an enemy player firing missiles or actually trying to shoot at me. In general, Amani Tech vehicles are just incredibly durable, and if you're ever planning on being in a public lobby and trying to help out a friend, driving an Amani Tech vehicle is a great way to be a distraction, especially because they obviously feature insane amounts of durability, plus a homing missile lock-on jammer. After Amani Tech vehicles, we also have weaponized vehicles if you want to have a little bit of defense added in. Now, normally I'd say the Oppressor Mark II, but I actually lean more towards something like this, the Toreador, and the reason why is because the Toreador can actually survive a couple explosions. It has a rocket boost, which means it's very fast, but mainly it has unlimited homing missiles, meaning you never have to recharge it. When you're using an Oppressor Mark II, it can be a really, really lame situation when you run out of homing missiles and then you have to despawn it, wait 5 minutes, call it back in. At that point, you might as well just get something else out. That sucks. I've had it happen many times when I'm trying to help out friends. I'll shoot a bunch of homing missiles at an enemy Oppressor Mark II, and then before you know it, you're out of homing missiles already. It's not the best situation to be stuck in. So because of that, using something like the Toreador, which has unlimited homing missiles, can survive 6 missiles before being blown up. And not only that, but obviously is fast, is able to kind of deal with most situations thrown at it. It's a great way to deal with enemies. The Sparrow is solid as well. It has flares. It can be a great distraction. It's a super quick call-in, so if it gets destroyed, you only have to wait 2 minutes. Usually what I like to do is I will have a vehicle pre-ready to call in. So let's say I'm in a F-160 Raiju or a Sparrow, right? And my Sparrow gets destroyed. What I'll do is I'll just have the Toreador, my last driven personal vehicle, and then the moment I get spawned back in, I'll just press request personal vehicle, look down, and you're going to notice my Toreador spawns in within a couple seconds right behind me. So very, very easy to use this. In general, weaponized vehicles are always going to be one of your best tools to taking out enemies. But let's say, for some reason, you're doing a multi-vehicle sale mission completely alone, and somebody is trying to attack you. Well, that brings us to the final set of options, and these are weapons. The 3 best weapons for dealing with griefers in the game. We're going to start off with what I consider to be the 3rd best, and that is the homing launcher. The homing launcher is great for one main reason. See how the homing launcher right there gets a lock onto a vehicle? Well, the reason it's so nice is because when you're aiming at a jet or, an Oppressor or something in the sky, the homing lock-on noise will start beeping on the aircraft or vehicle that you're aiming on once you fire a rocket. And obviously when you have a home-in on something to begin with, it makes a beeping noise. This is really, really useful, because it means that if you're on the ground and somebody's flying with their jet, they might be dissuaded to come after you if there's a homing missile lock-on. Especially once you fire that homing missile, if they're in a Raiju or any sort of flying vehicle and they don't have flares, they're just going to be flying in circles trying to dodge that missile. And what you do while they're trying to dodge that missile is you call in a weaponized vehicle during that time. Using the homing launcher in general is a great way to buy you time to call in a personal vehicle, to call out something that you can then use to destroy the attacker. The second option you have is great as well, and that is the explosive sniper. I don't know why I was looking in the shotgun category, but yes, we have the explosive sniper. Now we can see that I do not have explosive rounds on my sniper, and the reason why is because of the number 1 position I'll be talking about in a moment. But the explosive sniper, it literally is very simple. It shoots an explosive round, which blows up most things that it hits. I think it's like 5 or 6 shots from an explosive sniper on any jet, and it blows it up unless it's an armored one. And if you're hitting an Oppressor Mk II, the explosive sniper will knock the person flying off of it immediately. So the explosive sniper is probably the most useful tool in the game for taking out Oppressor griefers. However, I think, personally, the best tool in the game is indeed the railgun, which I actually don't have on this account. But you can see some clips of the railgun in front of me here. The railgun is amazing, because what it does is it just annihilates everything. It does about half the damage of a homing launcher, which means you need 2 railgun shots to blow up any non-armored car. Not a street car, but like any normal car or fully armored, you know, just a normal car that somebody's driving with 100% armor upgrade on it. It takes 2 railgun shots. To take a jet out of the sky, if you have a well-placed shot on the back, it'll take 1 shot because you'll break the back fins off and they won't be able to control it anymore. But usually it's 2 to 3 railgun shots to actually destroy a jet. 5 to 6 to destroy an armored one like the Rogue. And that is really, really good stuff. Because the railgun just ends all griefing. There's a video from a content creator called like Chuckler or something like that. I saw it recommended. I didn't watch it, but the title of the video basically spelled out what the topic was, and it was apparently how the railgun ruined the fun in GTA Online. And I highly disagree with that. The railgun gave players who are doing sail missions, players that aren't in jets, that aren't in oppressors or flying vehicles, the ability to defend themselves against people that are being cringed, that are in flying vehicles, and to actually make yourself worthwhile on the ground. And that is why I love the railgun. It's just a bit stronger version of the explosive sniper. The downside is that you don't have a scope, you don't have as many rounds, and you don't reload as quick. So there's differences between both. However, I think the railgun is the best item in the game for really dealing with any situation if you're alone. So those are my tips and tricks when it comes to Grand Theft Auto Online, selling in public lobbies, and in general, dealing with griefers. By the time you're done with today's video, you should have learned a thing or two. Now, if you're like me and you don't have the railgun on your account, I have it on my PlayStation, which is where I mainly play. I don't need to grind money when I've got $550 million on this account, so it's not too big of a deal for me anymore. But, if you want to get the railgun, it's very easy. Every month or so it comes out in the gun van. You just have to head over there, pick it up. It's like $600,000, and boom, you've got yourself it. So that's about as simple as it is. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you learned a thing or two, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!